Hooked On Fishing was brought to you by Matamata Sports World. For all your friendly advice and service, see us first. Hi, Chris Bungard, helping you plan your weekends fishing. Well, if you behave yourself, you can have Monday off. It's a long weekend coming up. I hope you're going to get out and make the most of it. Bit of a patchy forecast as far as the weather goes. We'll come back to that in just a minute when we have a look at the ocean fishing or the sea around the coast for you. The local trout fishing. This week, for some reason, we've seemed to have a lot of tourists coming in the shop. And you know why? Some of them are coming in to buy a bit of spinning gear and that sort of thing because they've heard about how good the local fishing is around the Waikato here. So what you need to do over the weekend is get out and take the opportunity to have a crack at it, because there is some wonderful fishing in our local streams and rivers around here. Talking to some guys from Auckland the other day, you know, what they wouldn't give to have that right on our doorstep, like we've got around the district in Matamata, the Waikato, Rotorua, Hamilton, all those sort of areas there. Most of the rivers and streams around here have got trout in them. You know, I say to people, well, they ask me, where do we go for a fish? I said, look, virtually every stream and little river around the place has got trout in them. So get out and have a crack at it. There's been some good ones caught on the Waiumu, the Waihau, and the lakes themselves. Arapuni and Karapiro had some excellent reports up there, especially the top end of Arapuni. There's been some beautiful fish caught up there just this week. Fish downstream with a black and gold 12-gram Toby. So there's a tip for you if you get a chance to get up there. Down in the Rotorua region, talking to Glenn Skinner, and he's pretty happy with the way the trophy lakes are going. They've been a bit patchy though, to be fair, and compared to other years, but a standout lake at the moment, he says, is Okataina. There is really producing some lovely fish, and particularly early in the morning. Had to change the light, so you've got to drag yourself out of bed fairly early. That and Rotowedi, same thing, early morning harling. During the day, the jigging and all that, really the thermal climb, the weather hasn't been warm enough to get that level of surface warm temperature water, so that you get that, you know, better jigging down a wee bit lower. So that hasn't really happened yet. So early morning harling and then deep trolling seems to be doing the ticket. Watch out though, over the next few weeks, the jigging will come on, and we'll keep you noticed on that one, of course. In the Taupo region, a little bit of rain they've had and due over the weekend should be just a ticket to produce a little bit of a run into some of the streams and rivers down there. My man in that scene, Ken Duncan, now he fishes that area all the time, and he tells me that probably the Tauranga Taupo and the Tongariro are two best ones at the moment. But if you want to go in the upper reaches a wee bit, the Waitanui is worth a wee bit of a look with that light fly fishing gear. Little dry fly patterns are just starting to come into their own with that evening hatch starting to help now. So yeah, just get out there in that right on the change of light. So you've got plenty of time after work at the moment, and on the Waitanui, just he recommends have a go there. Out on the lake itself has been a wee bit patchy, a bit hard. Early morning harling seems to be the best at the moment. Now to the coast, well, the west coast is just starting to fire up. A frustrating, the forecast for the weekend is a little bit patchy as far as the wind goes. They're getting up to 25 to 30 knots norwesterly on Sunday. And of course, we've got a holiday Monday. Saturday should be okay. Now, there's been some good fish caught out there recently. A local angler around here, Malcolm Taylor, got himself a beautiful 23-pound snapper the other day out there with Dwayne Pinney, so he's absolutely chuffed. That's his first one over 20-pound. Millsy, another local guy, got one about a week or 10 days ago. So there has been some good fish, and the local anglers are doing their best to keep the big ones coming into Matamata and around the local Waikato here. So if you get a chance, head out to about 52 to 55 metres of water out on the west coast, Wade Pinney tells me. That seems to be the best fishing at the moment. And be a wee bit patient. They're taking a while to come on at the moment, so if you get out there, don't get anything within half an hour or so. Don't shift all over the place, because sometimes just sit it out. They will come along, the different tide times and that sort of thing will produce them or induce them into biting, so just be a wee bit patient on that one. Sure, if you give it a couple of hours and still nothing happening, then perhaps look at a bit of a shift then. Up in the Coromandel region, some nice fishing to be had at the moment. The fish are starting to come on. They're growing roe now, so the longer bite times and that sort of thing. Local guys like Ross Southcombe and Ian Wilcox and those boys, Steve Dents and everything, they've been heading up there and catching some nice fish. Now, over the weekend, you've got ideal tides for an evening stray line. You've got high tide around about 9 o'clock at night, low tide around about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So fish that change of tide in the afternoon and then into the change of light. Same thing over in the Mercury Bay region, Motiti and Mare. The change of light is going to be the best one over the weekend. A little bit patchy as far as the weather goes. There's a norwesterly going to kick in on Sunday afternoon. They tell me a bit of rain coming through, winds up to 25 to 35 knots, so that's going to be a wee bit tough. But out in the Bay of Plenty, I think Saturday is going to be your best day. Off the beach as well, I heard some good news there on the Kontiki fishing off the beach, so that's well worth a look. And if you're looking at getting the old whitebait net out, there's a bit of that happening as well, so well worth a look. Now perhaps you'd like a new reel from Kilwell because our illustrious sponsors have put another reel up for the month of October. You can give us a call and get yourself in the draw to win that absolutely free on 0508 647462. That number again, 0508 647462. This has been Chris Bungard helping you plan your weekend's fishing. Hooked on Fishing was brought to you by Matamata Sports World. For all your friendly advice and service, see us first.